About 2.5 years ago, I went through the worst depression I ever went through in my life. And I realized that people treat you exactly how you treat yourself. I had this martyr complex. I felt like I had to save everybody. I had to save the world. What I realized is, can we cuss?
Yeah.
Some need to suffer. That's how God corrects you, through your suffering. And sometimes we try to save people who it's not their time to be saved. They need to be in their hole.
Yo, what's good with it? What's poppin' with it? What it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it would be. Cam Newton, the son, Mr. Boogity, all here with another episode of Funky Friday. And ladies and gentlemen, I promise, I really do promise to give good content for the masses, but most of all, I just promise to keep it funky. Now, my next guest, I had the opportunity to speak with him before on a different platform, but now we're on to bigger and better things on this platform. A very woke individual. A brother that's been empowering and impacting so many different facets of the culture, all right? He's an actor, he's a producer, a rapper, an activist. I present to some and introduce to others. David Banner, David Banner.
Hold on, I'm trying to give you the reveal. Hold on for a second. Okay, nah.
But you've been on that lately.
I have, brother.
Because it's like, what is it about? Oh. Man, I seen a clip of you, bro, online where like you was soul searching. Like you ain't afraid to make eye contact with a chick just to be like, hey man, hold on, you. Hey, hold up, stop. While I got everybody's attention, specifically you, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment, but most of all, make sure you subscribe. Back to the show.
Bro, that was 29 seconds. Women went, no, it's about 47 seconds. Women went crazy, bro. All over the world. What's funny, Cam, is that it's rooted to something very serious. About 2.5 years ago, I went through the worst depression I ever went through in my life. And I realized that people treat you exactly how you treat yourself. I had this martyr complex. I felt like I had to save everybody. I had to save the world. What I realized is, can we cuss?
Yeah.
Some motherfuckers need to suffer. That's how God corrects you, through your suffering. And sometimes we try to save people who it's not their time to be saved. They need to be in their hole. And so I realized that I had to love me. My therapist told me, he said, David, you always talking about black people, black people, black people. He said, why don't you treat yourself, treat you the way you want yourself to be treated? So people think that it's ego. It's not ego, man. Like, I really, really love myself. And I honestly think I am the second sexiest motherfucker that ever walked this earth. I got to give it up to Jesus first. I let him have that. You know, I don't have that carpenter swag. But after that...
That's you, right? Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, okay. Making sure.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's bro, I say shit sometimes, bro. I make myself laugh.
But are you serious?
No, I'm dead serious. Oh, I'm not playing.
So there ain't no need to laugh if you serious.
No, it's funny because I like me. Like, sometimes I say shit like, damn, dog, I like you. Like, I really like me.
See,
now,
this is the thing, Mr. Banner.
What?
I love me. You said like you.
Well, you can love. There's a lot of motherfuckers I love that I can't stand the motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, because I always loved myself.
Okay.
But liking, waking up in the morning, like, I like hanging out with me. I don't. Man, I used to always wonder why my grandmother and my grandfather in Mississippi, how they could sit out on the porch all day and do nothing. I get it now. When you at peace with God, man, and you at peace with yourself, and you're not fighting, it's gonna come to you. I do want to say this, though. It's very important to me. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
We're growing. I'm watching us grow. I'm watching you grow. I I was gonna save this for later, but I think this is the best time. Bro, when I look at black people in general in America, I think this is the best time in history for us to move forward. While America is focusing on other things, other sets of people, this is the time for us to come together. But what I'm watching is I'm watching us tear at each other like slaves. Bro, when it comes to commentary and especially football, I only know one or two people who's in front of cameras that can say anything to you about football, bro. A lot of people are catty and they take shots at you because they can't be you. They don't have that love and respect for self that you do. They don't have the history that you do. It's getting to the point, bro, where people are talking about everything but music. It's the song jamming, it's the beat jamming. Don't nobody care about that no more. I have to go to ESPN 19 to hear about the fucking game. What happened on the game? Not how much somebody's getting paid, not how who is somebody having sex with. And bro, I thought about this before I came here when I said I was gonna say this to you. Arsenio Hall is an example of somebody who did it right. He didn't take the cuts in the corners, because the more that we try to find ways to bait and click people, the more I think that we lose our soul. Bro, nobody has the self-determination. Most people didn't go through what you went through in college. I studied you, bro. You recreated yourself after all that bullshit, bro, and fought your way back. You put a whole university on your back who had never had that kind of light on them before. You did that, bro. So at this point in your life, you don't have to chase nothing. Your biggest competition is you. Because ain't none of them motherfuckers, they saw when them kids tried you, how them bodies started flying. They're not gonna try you physically. Bro, from a fashion perspective, y'all, for real, the only reason why I dressed down today was because last time me and Cam was on the same podcast together. Yeah. It was like two titans from a fashion perspective clashing. So I said I was gonna turn it down just a little.
Just turning it down?
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course.
This boogie you prove.
This light work. I tell the girls all the time, don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Excuse me, sweetheart. That's that splat.
It's that splat.
Now, I did hear where you take credit of being the first person with the salt and pepper steez.
Well, it ain't salt and pepper no more. It's snow.
It's snow, but the blacks.
Yeah, my mother.
What's that? The asphalt snow combine.
My mother was the one that showed me that, bro. I'll tell you something, especially with us being Southerners.
Okay.
And I told people this about the Migos. I said people from other places try to say stuff about the Migos, but they steal their style. Mm-hmm. They steal the way that them boys rap. They steal the way that they dress.
Man, have you ever been locked in on summer plans and you hit that classic moment? What am I gonna wear? I'm talking about graduations. What else? Weddings. Memorial Day weekend. My birthday. The calendar just starts to stack up fast. And suddenly, every invite comes with some type of panic. And that right there is the main reason why I rock with Macy's. They turn, man, they ain't got nothing to wear, into sheer confidence. Their personal stylist helps you lock in a full look. Their personal stylist help you lock in a full look. And get this, they'll even help you find the perfect gift while you at it. I don't know about you, but I still love that in-store feeling. Touching the fabrics, trying things on, mixing shoes and all type of accessories. See the whole fit come to life. Plus, you have fragrance and skincare experts helping you build that summer glow and helping you lock in your signature summer scent. So when it's time to show up, you is not scrambling. You're ready.
They steal their lingo, but don't want to give them credit for the effect that they've had on culture, bro. Yeah. My mother said, man, I noticed, sweetheart, that The people in sports, the rappers, none of them were wearing their gray beard before you started doing it. And I did it because my mentor, I went over to my mentor's house. And I was getting ready for something. And he walked in the bathroom where I was and said, man, you got more products than my wife have. I had Beijing and all of that kind of stuff. I'm in there Beijinging it up.
Solo,
yeah.
like you doing it.
Oh yeah, I do most of the stuff that I do.
You do this
because,
thing,
well, my barber does it, but I know what I want, and I go
that.
and tell him,
Okay.
and he duplicates it.
I got you.
But like, nobody knows me like me, because that's what I had to learn about fashion. You doing it right now. Most people couldn't do that, bro. Even if you gave them the kit and you kitted them up, bro, fashion is inside of you. Like a lot of times, bro, like when I started moving to the bigger pants, I wasn't comfortable with it. So I would literally go to coffee shops and start with new fashion and just walk around with it. You know, I remember when I had my first super big pants, because I wasn't used to that. I went and I gotta say, Black Thought, he was doing that 5 years before anybody else was. But I had to go walk. I walked around in the, I changed up. Remember Regina in the airport when we was coming from Canada, and I wore it in the airport so I could be comfortable in it.
Okay.
That's the reason why when you see two people that's wearing the same clothes and one person, even if they're an attractive person, it don't look right on one of them, and then the other one it does. I learned that from Andre 3000. Andre can go into Goodwill and pick out something that's fly than anybody at the Grammys. Because the true fashion is the God that's inside of you. Like, I'm happy with me. I love what I do. I told a young lady, she said, David Banner, you sexy as hell. And I told her, I know. And she said, huh? And she said, you're getting sort of arrogant. I said, I'm not arrogant. I work out 6 days a fucking week. I'm too old for this shit. That shit hurt. But I know when people are attracted to me, my business grows like 62%. So I realize that is part of my job. When children look at us, and I'm talking all this positive shit, kids see the Ferrari, kids see the clothes, because most people who fight for black people are poor, on drugs, in jail, the feds done got to them. Kids say, oh, you can be a revolutionary, drive a Ferrari? Yes, you can. Oh, well, I want to learn how to do that, then. And so all of that, man, it all comes together. That's why I'm saying, bro, what you're doing is bigger than sports. And people are afraid of you, dude. Yeah. You are a fashion icon, bro. You are someone who did it and literally came back. Most people do what you do because they have to. You did it because of the interest. Yeah. And you are building a brand that if you stay consistent, nobody can do what you do. I was just telling them outside, they were asking me, you know, what could I tell artists to help them move forward in their branding? And I said, it's hard for me to say because it's different for everybody, you know? And most people in the United States want to be one of 5 people. All you have to do is make people think that you are one of those people. That's it.
Think. You have to make them think,
yes.
Or you don't even have to be that.
Make them think. Okay. Because everything is dictated by what you
think.
It is not true until you
think. I'm with you. You've lived so many different lives, from artist, producer, actor, activist. What version of yourself do you feel that you're most right now?
Believe it or not, Cam, and I never thought that I would say this, is I'm a fucking rapper right now. I've never, ever rapped like this in my life. And I am very interested, because I say this about especially basketball, when everybody wants to argue about who's the GOAT. I say until black people set standards and goals, so it's partially influence, it's partially how many championships. We got to put a number, because most people want whoever affected their lives to be the GOAT when they have their opinions, right? And it's usually never based in the truth, you know? But I've always, lyricism has always meant something to me. Hip hop has always meant something to me, but I realized that hip hop didn't always love the South. You know, so it didn't matter how well I could rap, because they didn't give it to Andre 3000. Watch this. Some people will say that Outkast is the best rap group, is the best group of all times over the Beatles. Have you all heard that? Right? Well, how in the hell are they the best group of all time and they come from the genre of rap? Then how in the fuck are they not the best rap group first? So the imperialism that we don't talk about in hip hop is so deep that you will give them something that is so-called greater. You say they're better than the Beatles, but they're not the best rap group of all time?
I think it was Time Magazine. And how I know this is because I just completed my vision board. Time Magazine did 100, the best 100 albums of all time. Stankonia was on that.
Yeah.
And to your point, you know, the Beatles had numerous albums that was on there, along with other, and it wasn't just specific to rap, hip hop, gospel, whatever. I don't think any gospel artist was on there. It was mentioned, but it wasn't labeled as a Hot 100. Most influential rap albums, and this magazine had came out a couple years ago. But it typically was rock and roll. It was country. Seen Kenny Chesney's name. So many different others. But we weren't represented as much, specifically the genre of rap and hip hop. My question is not necessarily on topic of rap and hip hop. It's more specific to you being and having roots of Jackson, Mississippi. Do you think Mississippi is slept on?
Yes, very much so. But more specifically Mississippi.
Okay.
You can trace most contemporary music in America back to Mississippi.
Okay.
Most great music, the basis of it is pain. No one has suffered in North America the way that the African or the Moorish people have, right? And so the reason why our music resonates the way that it does is because the one thing that everybody in this room will have in common is pain through death, because everybody's gonna die. A lot of times for me, it is one of the reasons, again, why I am so proud of you, is it's not the music. Mississippi has never had a problem with music. It has always been the morbid history that's connected with where we're from.
Yeah.
And the cameras. Some of the most talented people who you all love right now, they're from Mississippi. They just don't say that they are.
Who?
You know, that's neither here or there. You know, and if they choose to not say it, I am. And that's all that really matters to me.
Because I think when we're talking about Mississippi, and why I say the who is because I think most people acknowledge where they kind of got their name from.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying?
Exactly.
A lot of people were born, somewhat raised in different places, but they rep Atlanta.
Watch this, and you're gonna love this story. That is one of the reasons why I have the love that I have for Atlanta, because Atlanta did something for me that I don't think any city has ever done for any other artist. Atlanta knew that I was from Mississippi. I never really wanted tattoos in my life. The reason why I got this tattoo on my back, because I said if I ever turn my back on my people, it'll still say Mississippi, even if I turn my back. So Atlanta loved me. And a lot of people said it was because also the respect that I had for Atlanta. They knew I was from Mississippi, but I was coming up through the same tunnel as Lil Jon, as T.I., as Bone Crusher, all of these people at that same time, right? And Atlanta opened the door for me and allowed me to go through that door. A lot of people have said that I got that $10 million deal and I moved to Atlanta. But that's actually the opposite from the truth. I got on in Atlanta. I got on from Jerry Smoking B from Hot here in Atlanta. Then I moved back to Mississippi because I didn't ever want my people to feel like I turned my back on them. And so Atlanta allowed me to do that. And so for me, I got into not really an argument a couple days ago. I saw a young cat. You know, he was up in Atlanta, like just popping really, really loud. And I asked him, I was like, bro, where you from? He told me where he from. I said, where you live? He said, I live in Atlanta. I said, well, if your city is that great, then take your ass back there. Like, you owe the land something. When we are in these colleges, I was just speaking at HBCU a couple days ago, and I said, we all want to change the world, but if you go to a historically black college, then 9 times out of 10, there's a black community right across the street. Walk your ass across the street and change the community, the black community across the street. We don't have to do these esoteric big things when there's people that's hurting right here. And so in Atlanta, I will always be grateful for Atlanta, for them loving Mississippi and allowing me to come through the portal of their city, because they got so many talented people and they let me rep Mississippi.
So specifically to that that thought process, what would you say that you've outgrown where you're from to go to, let's say, the big city with big dreams? Mm-hmm. The LAs, the New Yorks, the Miamis, the Atlantas, the Texases, like those, the Houstons, the Dallases, you know what I'm saying? Being from the small spaces in America where you may feel like a shark in a lake.
No, I definitely haven't outgrown. You don't outgrow anything, as a matter
I'm
of fact.
talking, not you specifically, I'm talking about the individual, like,
I'm gonna answer
talking.
that. But what happens is this. What happens in most cases, have you ever noticed when you get a contract from white folks, there's about 40 pages of what they want from you, and about 3 pages of what they're gonna give you. When we walk into business situations, we usually don't know our worth and we don't know what we want. All we know is we want some money. When you know, I know you know this now, usually if you get a lot of money on the front end, you getting your ass towed up. You a slave at the end, right? So what I realize is that when we stay in these small spaces, we usually don't have a vision. I saw a store in, I just gave my phone away because I didn't want, I don't even know, it's a store in DC. It was one of the most inspirational things I've seen, and black people own it. Chef Rock works at it, I'm sorry. Memoirs, I think is the name of it. I don't even want to get an idea away. But you could never do this idea in New York because all of the space is bought up. You could never do this, what I just seen that you just bought. You can't do this in a big city, bro. You can't. You don't have the land. You may even have the money. You can't afford it. But in the places that we're from, a young lady with Nashley, right? Bean Path, this girl bought up 45% of downtown Jackson. She's gonna create a tech hub in Jackson, Mississippi. She couldn't do that nowhere. And even in which she won't, even if she failed, she owns 45% of downtown Jackson. How fucking player is that? We just don't have the vision of God. That is why we perish. So we look to go and be a part of other people's vision. That's one of the only criticisms that I have of people who want to rap. Most people don't want to rap because of the culture. Most people don't want to be great at what they do. This is the legalized dope game for a lot of people. And that's my only problem. If you do it and you love it, I don't care where you from, who you are, and how you do it, if you respect the people and the culture. I give you one last example. I get so motherfucking mad when I go to a Hawks game and we playing another big city. I don't see no red in the building. Dude, I don't care who my favorite team is. An Atlanta team is always gonna be in the top 3 because that's what my companies are in. In my movie company, we are establishing a 33.3% Georgia rate. And what that means is 33% of every position, whether it's actor, whether you're doing hair, whether you're a grip, you have to have a Georgia license in order to fill that spot. And that is my way to make sure that I always give back to what Georgia did for Mississippi.
Talk about business. What other business ventures do you have outside of, music?
So I can tell you some of them. I just can't speak. And because I trust you, I'm gonna say this on your show, bro. Bro, I have people who wait to find out online what I'm doing. and they write letters to companies, and bro, it's terrible. And I've never done nothing to nobody to deserve that type of treatment. Yeah. I'm not saying that I've always been perfect. I'm not saying that I've always made the right decisions, but I'm learning that people can't stop you until you so far down the road, and people will take your ideas and take what you do and duplicate it because they have access to more resources. But bro, I have a company that's called Banner Vision. I've been doing scoring and doing marketing for Fortune 500 or very, very big companies for the last 22 years. I did the second biggest Gatorade commercial in history. You know, I've advised, I'm about to be the face of one of Georgia's biggest companies. I just can't talk about it yet. But what I will say, bro, it's a strange place, and I want to tell you about it and talk to you about it as a man, not necessarily just for the show. It's crazy because I have to be careful about my activism now, because in a lot of cases, our people don't know how to support the right people, and the people who make the sacrifices and that really stand for the people, we'll let them fall. And I'm too close to being able to buy land. I'm too close to being able to buy waterways. I got a friend right now who's one of the top comedians in the world, and I just don't want to tell his business. He's in the process of buying a town, bro. He just can't find, they don't have a proper water system in the town yet, and he's trying to figure that out. That's the thing that I want to be a part of, Cam. It's not what they say about you in 10 years. It's not what they say about you in 20 years. It's what they'll say about you in 200 years if they know you fucking lived. And I don't want to be known for just play. And fucking, that's what they did to Martin Luther King. They picked the most digestible time in history about him, and that's what they put out to us every year. If you go back and look at Martin Luther King, and it's online, the speech that he was going to do at his church, that the week that he died, you would have thought that was Malcolm X. Martin Luther King was sick of getting his ass beat on. He wanted to be about finances. He was talking about some of the things that were going on in the war that nobody dared to speak about. That was the reason why they killed that man. But the version of Martin Luther King that black people love, I don't think Martin Luther King liked him when he died. If they could separate themselves, he wouldn't like that dude.
But how, that's heavy.
But it's the truth.
But how?
He told Harry Belafonte, I think I have integrated my people into a burning house. That's basically telling Harry Belafonte everything that I built my life on is a lie. He said that. David Banner didn't say that. And I think if you ask his kids, they would tell you that. It's just harsh to realize that we've been duped, bro. That's the hardest thing when it comes to food, history, bro. If it ain't mathematics or science, in most cases, these people done lied to us. And that's hard to admit that we went down the wrong road, bro.
So I'm trying to separate, because I'm trying to follow, and specifically to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King. The version that is in front of us, the propaganda that we see in schools and in Black History Months and the I Have a Dream and the monuments and how great Martin Luther King was and what he stood for. You're saying that it's a lie?
What I am saying is, boy, here go all them endorsements, Regina. Regina said, No, bro, like, integration was the worst thing that ever happened to Black people. Being enslaved is just losing a war. Like, once we integrated, we thwarted the opportunity to teach our own children. We don't have no options on what we teach Black kids in public schools. Think about this, y'all. In a lot of public schools, in a lot of colleges, they tell Black men that they can't wear locks. Your natural hair. Dog, do you see that they say they can do anything to meet that they want to, put anything they want to without telling you the truth about it? Think about right now in America what Black people have influence over what happens to their children in general. What they feed them, what they see on TV, what they hear on the radio, any of those things. So by integrating, by even saying that you want civil rights, take the word, the operative part of the word is civil, right? You're saying that I just want you to treat me civilly, right? And anything that you do in life, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna make 100, right? Even if you're great. So if you fall short of civil, that means they treat a dog better than they treat you. I don't want civil rights. I want you to treat me like the God that I am. And so what I'm saying is that they take pieces of a person. Like they couldn't stop Malcolm X, so what they made him was an X on a hat. The same thing that they did to Jesus in Christmas. They took Christ out of Christmas and put an X. These are the mind games that we don't see. And to be honest with you, as our friendship grows, these are the types of things that keep me up at night, Cam, because I see it. And it's so clear.
So you would have wanted segregation to stay segregated?
Well, I would have wanted black people to build their own shit. I would have wanted black people to praise their own God.
Okay.
I would want black people to teach their own kids. I'm not saying that we can't be together, but would you respect somebody who you allowed to stay in your house, whether you forced them to stay there or not? And what, they've been staying there for 50, 60, 70, 80 years, 100 years? It's time for us to get our own. If we have our own, then we don't have to beg for anything.
Or the ability to create your own. Because I think that's a lot of suppression too that's not being mentioned, especially going back to slavery. Mm-hmm. It's not to say that we couldn't have our own. We didn't have the rights to have our own. You feel what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is that even within that, man, like, I give you a great example. I told you, bro, if I had any power in the spaces that I wanted, it's coming. But like, bro, I would make you the Black Superman, bro. Like, period, dog. I don't want there to ever be a period where our children don't think that they're gods or that they're superheroes. Like, think about this. This is gonna mess y'all head up. A real superhero is a representation of a god. Wonder Woman is a god. Superman is a god. I love Black Panther. I don't wanna be no cat. I wanna be a fucking god. And what they're telling us that we can't be gods when the word hero comes from Heru, a black man. So the word comes from a black man and you can't be a real hero? And then watch this, it's gonna fuck y'all head up. Where does Superman get his power from? Come on, y'all in here. From the sun. White people are allergic to what? The sun. There's no way Superman could be white. A white scientist said that it's not possible. They run from the sun. Superman is supposed to be darker than the darkest night ever. These are the things that I notice, and it be fucking my head up, dog. I can't sleep. And I be like, don't nobody else see it? And then when I say it, Negroes say that I'm crazy. When I said something about that, I can't say it because last time I said it, they threw me off TV. Like, and look at what they're saying about what happened to people after they took that. Blood clots. They can't have children. They die. I missed the movie because of that. But they acted like I was crazy when I said something about it. Bro, I'll just tell you this. From this point in my life, and this is gonna surprise you, I really wanna be around good human beings. Everything that I do in my life will always be for black people, but I realize that it is important for me to do for me, and those who see it can come along, those who don't have to suffer. And they will suffer until they see if my way is the right way, it's the way to go. But Cam, it's the best time in history. Why everybody's scared and why so many wild things is happening in the world. If we had our shit together, it wouldn't take but a couple of us to put our money together, bro. We can go buy and do anything. We can go buy up Ghana. We can go any of these places, buy land here. We can go back to Mississippi.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Point blank period. No sugar coat, no nothing. Are you a racist?
Am I a racist? No. You have to have power in order to be a racist. I may be a bigot. I mean, I might be that if you want to call me something. I'm not, but I'm just saying, What people won't tell you about the word racist is in order for you to be a racist, I can't stop white people from shopping at no grocery store, can I? I can't stop them from going to no club or no school, can I? I can't be racist. I don't have no fucking power. You can't be black and be racist if you know the true root of the word. I study every day of my life. There's no way black people can be racist. Now, if you want to look at the word racist in the way that most people think of it, which I don't, Marcus Garvey said, and this blew my head off, he said he doesn't have a problem with white people's racism. He has a problem with black people's lack of racism. If we thought of ourselves and put ourselves first the way that they do, then we would be just fine. But we put everybody before we put ourselves in anything, dude. So maybe we should be.
Do you have any relationships, partnerships, alignment of other cultures outside of?
Fuck yeah!
Okay.
Dude, let me tell you something. When I hire, I look for black people first, but the real truth is I need the most qualified people. The company is black because I'm black. I'm able to hire who and what I want to by the success of the company. I don't really give a fuck who works. My preference is to be around my people, yes, but we have to be successful first. That was part of the problem with my career. Every time I was close, bro, I would go off and try to save the world. You know, I'll give you a great example. You know, people talk about all the things that I did for Katrina and you know, how admirable of a man I was. And I did, they say, arguably the biggest urban relief concert in history for Katrina. But guess what I ended up finding out? Yeah, we raised right around $1 million. Katrina was $1 billion problem. Even if all the rappers in the world had put their money together for Katrina, it wasn't shit we could do. Nothing we could do. And then black people, we put more pressure on our rappers and our entertainers, our football players and basketball players than we do on the motherfuckers who getting paid to do that kind of shit. But I realized I used to think that God was telling me to do that. God didn't tell me to do that shit. My ego told me to do that. It ain't my responsibility to save nobody but my ass. And if I have children, then you brought them in the world. You're a lot better at that than I am. I ain't quite. Yes, sir. But I'm going to catch up, bro. I practice a lot.
Boy, listen,
if you know what I'm saying.
I understand
but
that.
You're a king.
Yes,
don't ever let nobody, don't ever let people who don't have a do. I say that about Nick Cannon, too. Y'all are kings. You deserve what a king has because you can take care of, I ain't never not heard of you not taking care of what's yours, bro. Absolutely. So if you could get 150 and pay for them, I'm proud of you. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what God did. If we put all our faces together, that's God. All you're doing is acting like God. You're a little bit better than most of us. And then with your big ass, we need as many motherfuckers that look like you around this bitch. Y'all, this motherfucker, I'm telling y'all he look like Superman. I just told a motherfucker this. I love him to death. Y'all know I'm a pretty decent fighter. I'm not fighting this big mother. This is a big old motherfucker. What the fuck was they feeding you, dog? Dog, bro, I just got a question. Well, you don't know because you're not short and you are a big motherfucker. Bro, I can imagine you could look over most of the field when you was behind that ball, bro.
Nah, I'll tell you this. In real life, I have a drone like visual of most people. Cause like I'm looking down, I see that bald spot in the dude's heads. I be seeing them extensions in folks' hair. I be seeing all the stuff
you a petty motherfucker just like me.
Yeah.
Bro, on the
I be seeing it. I be like, okay, what's up, bro? It's time. All right, cool. You still holding on. You bald as a mug.
Bald nigga.
But to eyeball to eyeball, you gotta throw. Yeah. But between me and you need to let it go.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Do you watch the Invincibles, the cartoon?
The Incredibles?
Invincibles? This motherfucker a Viltrumite, dog.
Oh, no.
Y'all saw how when them kids, the motherfuckers started attacking him, them bodies just started flying. I was like, damn, Cam, motherfuckers was flying in there like shit.
Them weren't kids, though.
They weren't? That's even better then.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, to you, they were children.
Don't slight me. And I ain't proud of that. I ain't proud of that.
I am. Let me have my time. This is
that.
for me.
Go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I saw that motherfucker in the airport one day, and I'm a pretty big dude. Like, understand, average motherfucker, I'm much bigger than they are. I'm like, damn, that's a big old motherfucker. And seriously, dog, I was thinking, like, dog, once I get my superhero shit on, because that's really my dream, is to make sci-fi films. Bro, you gotta come and do it, bro. You gotta do it for the culture because you're a hero, whether you like it or not. You know, I know that y'all had this in the questions, but I'm gonna jump a little bit. One of the reasons why I wanna be in the high-end fashion is because I want little black boys to know that you can be a heterosexual, strong man and still be in fashion. It's okay for you to dress how you wanna dress and express yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very important, bro, because ain't nothing soft about you, bro.
Can I check you something real quick? I just want to be in high fashion, low fashion, just fashion. Fashion for me is a way of self-expression. And I think oftentimes people get excused because it's high fashion. Like to me, this whole outfit, thanks to Macy's, it was affordable, right? But I think we get caught into, oh, this was this brand, this was that brand. I went to Neiman's to get this one. I went to Nordstrom to get that. I went to Paris to get this. But it's all expression. I don't care how much you pay for them heels, baby. I don't care how much you pay for them shoes, my boy. I just wouldn't wear them. You feel me? And we get so caught into, I spent $1,700 on this bag or $17,000 on this bag. And it's like, but I wouldn't wear that. I wouldn't rock that.
But let me tell you why I do, though.
Okay.
The reason why I do is Malcolm said by any means necessary, right? It doesn't necessarily mean war. I want to be where my people's interest is. Like the real truth, I can say this on your show. Bro, I was never into Ferraris and jewelry and all of that kind of stuff, but I realize that our children are. So if I want their attention and I know that's where their attention is, I'm gonna go to where my people's attention is as long as it doesn't compromise my manhood or my soul.
Yeah.
So I'm in the high fashion because number one, for some reason, and this is really sad, man, bro, I didn't really get paid as a producer. And I've produced Quincy Jones, I've produced Maroon 5, Chris Brown, like all of these different people, Wayne, Tip, it goes on and on and on. People didn't really pay me until I bought a Bentley. I mean, white cats can walk around looking like a troll, bro, and no shoes on and dusty and half addicted on meth and get paid $1 million a track. But for some reason, I have to wear my money on me. So what I learned is if God gives you information, if God illuminates you, to know where our interest lies, if I can be a part of that and bring them to me, then the other fucking thing, if you gonna spend that kind of money with Louis Vuitton and Gucci, motherfucker, don't ever ask me for shit. You gonna pay me. You gonna fucking pay me. And I mean that. I'm a lot of things, and you gonna laugh at this, but I am not joking. Before a motherfucker can tell you that David Banner is cheap, they'll tell you I gave it to him for free. I'm never cheap. I'm never discounted. You know why I will give it to you for free? Because free is still priceless. Motherfucker can't never say they lowball me ever again in life, bro. You are worth what you say and what you know. God loves you so much. If you say you a slave, you are. If you say you a nigga, you are. If you a God and you act like one, you that too. And you are worthy of being praised. So I am in the high fashion, and then I really got into that shit, and I like the way it feel, and I bullshit. I'm on their motherfucking ass. I mean it.
But within the last 3 minutes, if we ain't know where he was from, this is a Mississippian right here, boy. Real spill.
Boy.
I want to go back to something real quick, and we can.
And
move
I'm having
on
a
to
great fucking time,
I love
bro.
where we at.
Good job, dog.
How would you want Black history to be taught if you could control it?
If I could control it, I would just want people to tell the truth. There's not many things, bro, that we didn't create. Bro, I'm learning more and more every day. I just bumped into the black rock group Death from Detroit. They were the ones that started grunge music. Matter of fact, By the time they figured out how much people loved them, they were a reggae group and they started a whole genre of music and didn't know it. Bro, you got to think about it. Just about anything that's connected to work, black people had to have created it because them motherfuckers wasn't working, they had us. We created the cotton gin. So what they did, and what I can say that I'm learning from white people that has changed my life, we are so talented that we spend more time doing the talent than creating systems. I'll give you a great example. The reason why the NBA always plays with the game, because white boys really can't be active in playing the actual game no more. They just don't physically have the talent. So they play with our lives. They play with us. They put rules and set rules and say, okay, let's try a new ball. Let's see if we can get the 4-point shot. That's how they play with us. They play with our lives on a whole nother level, right? That's what we have to start doing, is setting up systems. People know my criticism on most conventional religions, but I realize that if I convince someone that they need to change the way that they think, there's not a system for them to land into. Mm-hmm. You know, where are they gonna go if they don't go in the white people's system? That's the reason why we give up and just go back to them, because we don't have nowhere to go. Bro, imagine this, as smart as you are and how intellectual you are, the kind of money that you have, and I'm not criticizing this, I'm just saying I noticed it myself. We spend so much time in the talent. Imagine you being in a place and just implementing shit. All you gotta do is watch the system, pay for it, sign your name, and keep it moving. Look at Oprah Winfrey. For a very long time, Oprah had to be on every fucking cover of her magazine or it wouldn't sell. Had to be in every movie that came out of her company. You know what I'm saying? That's not freedom. And I started realizing that, like, damn, I got a system of producers that I use. This last album that I worked on, bro, my producers got more tracks than I did. And I was happy about that, bro. So that's what I want to do. I want to be in a position, bro, like I'm serious. I see something in you that you don't see. Bro, you in a superhero movie, dog, it's over. Your motherfucking ass take off and run. They have to build some new cameras, dog. Like, what the fuck? This motherfucker flash for real.
More pixels.
I see it, dog. Yeah. But we got to set up the systems.
Let's talk about movies real quick. Seeing Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler win their Oscar for a film that was rooted in deep black Mississippi culture, the movie obviously Sinners. What did that moment feel for you actually being a representative from Mississippi?
What meant more to me than even the movie is that a young man from the city that the movie was about, the movie didn't show in that city. He talked about it online. And Ryan Coogler and his wife in the studio got together and went and took the movie back to Mississippi. And I was so proud because Ryan Coogler said something, man, and he's one of the dudes I respect the most, bro. Even the way that he speaks. You know, he's unapologetic. He got that himself.
He got that Oakland in him.
The way that he loves his wife, bro, and builds his wife. Just the embodiment. And he hasn't missed yet. People are not noticing that. He has not fucking missed.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, it's impossible to do, dog.
That's hard to
That's
do.
impossible to do.
Because even, and I'm sorry, and this is just my rotten tomatoes, rotten pears, or just movie critique. All right, what's my man, Get Out? Jordan Peele. A lot of his movies, like Get Out was of epic proportion. A couple of ones after that was just like, okay, it's not. The Us was a little deep too, because it was like, okay, he's back. And then it was just, okay, where we at? It's getting too heavy. But Fruitville Station, you had the Black Panther. You don't want to be that's you. But then you drop the Sinners, and this is what I even heard from, I heard Coogler, I heard Tyler Perry. With the budget that you have allocated to create, you maximized what you had.
That's what they do to us. We'll take 2 dimes and rub the motherfuckers together and make that shit hot. That's just our people. You know, but what I'll say, man, is that he brought that movie back to Mississippi. He said something so powerful. I pulled him to the side, and I don't like talking about what men talked about. I don't like to talk about what men talk about in private, but this was so beautiful, and it let me know that how much he really loves Mississippi. I pulled Ryan to the side. I was like, hey, dog, if it's about Mississippi, bro, why didn't you just shoot it in Mississippi, bro? And he said they didn't have the facility that he needed in order to give the beautiful vision of how he wanted to look. He didn't want to sell Mississippi short. The vision, because it's about Mississippi anyway, bro, it blew me away. It blew me away because I may want to shoot or produce my song in your studio, but if you don't have the stuff that I need in order for it to sound on this level, then I'm doing the artist a disservice and I'm doing the people a disservice. So Ryan's ability to study the game, the cameras, the way that it's gonna roll out on the screen, all of these things, bro, that he is bringing to the game, I promise you, bro, I haven't seen that type of love, you know, for art. And I just want to tell you that's something, when I told you I didn't finish the statement about me rapping and how I'm rapping, I don't know why God brought it to me this way, but I've never been this sober in my life and recorded. Like, I thought I needed to be high. I thought I needed to be drunk in order to get the God side out of me. For me to tap in what I am tapped into now, and I don't have to be high. I may get high, but I don't have to be there. I can bring God and be in communion with God with a sound mind, bro. Oh, come on. And I'm watching Ryan and his wife do that. And then he found another man that he can stand by side, and they move at the same time, and they both know their places and love the places and don't want to be in any other place but that. Come on, bro, you can't stop
I'm gonna stop you right there because I love where we at. And my son is here, Jaden, I call him China. And I want him to hear this message because that's what I have for him. I want him to fall in love with video film production. Just fall in love with it. Because if you fall in love with something, that's what this generation is missing, the love of it. And to my point, while the love of something is so important, compensation will come in many ways than just financial.
Do you mind if I add something for him?
For sure.
Okay. So, this is something that they don't tell black children. The reason why I think the love is so important, because in anything you do, you have to invest a certain amount of hours. They usually say right around 10,000 hours, right? So, I said this and I got in trouble. I'm gonna say it again. I know this is crass, but take it for face value. Imagine getting paid to do porn. That's what you did every day. I love having sex. Let somebody pay me, I might shake my little tootie. No, but listen, no, seriously. No, seriously though.
You're talking making
beats.
Now, bro.
No, I'm just.
I got you.
No, but let me tell you, I said that.
I don't want you to be a porn star.
No, I don't either. But you know the point though, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't you get it?
I'm gonna be a porn star.
No.
I like you even more. No, but no, I said that in front of a group of kids, and people were like, "Oh, why did you say that?" I said, because we treat our children like they don't know better.
They don't know.
And if
or,
we don't,
or they don't know at all.
Yeah.
You know, in this generation, people love what comes with what they potentially do rather than the art of it.
Yeah.
What I see in Tyler Perry, what I see in Ryan Coogler, what I see in so many different artists that have not yet got to that platform yet is their desire to put on great work. And what is missed is, even I see a lot of music. Folks don't really like making music. They love what comes with making a hit song. So now, even for football, I talk to kids on a day-to-day basis, and I'm like, bro, you just don't love the sport. You love what can come from NIL is, whoa! Like the amount of money that these kids are making is astronomical, and it can skew your love for that sport when I'm just saying, hey, bro, if you just love throwing the best football that you possibly can throw, and why your accuracy is being affected by. So if you fall in love with those things, the compensation will come.
The only problem with that, though, bro, I'll add to that, is that has always been our problem, is that we love the things that we do so much that they end up getting us on the other end, right? One thing that I say about the NBA, when people start criticizing people who are jumping from team to team, I say, but owners trade us like slaves and cattle all day, and nobody ever criticized them for not being loyal to.
But it's a business, though.
Well, but no, see, when it comes to white people, hold on, watch this. When it comes to white people, we make excuses for them doing the same thing. Okay. Business is fucking personal. If you trade me and I live here and my family is here, you're disrupting my whole life. If me and you make a deal and you find a loophole in the contract and you fuck me over, that is very personal. See, white people have the ability to say that it's business and not personal because they never really cared about you in the first place. You were always a product to them. Yeah. They never looked at black people.
But I don't think that's a white man thing.
I do. Hold on a second, excuse me, brother. Okay, Cam, let me ask you a question.
Go right ahead.
Since the draft is coming up, I hear a lot of people say that the NFL draft is very similar to the slave auction. How did you feel, from all perspectives, but especially that perspective when you were drafted?
The visual could give off the same, but even knowing that, to this day, I would do it all over again. Because at that specific point in time, that was my way of being able to change my family bloodline for the rest of my life. And if that's what the comparable is, I knew what that was, and it was more opportunity for me than anything else. Some, use that analogy, not knowing that everybody that's involved knows what comes with that specific situation. It is a business. And this is why I say it's not a black man, white man thing. It's a green man, blue man thing. It's all about money. If John Pierre, who's an extremely talented editor on our team at Funky Friday, if he does something that goes against our values at Funky Friday, he knows, I know, we'll have to remove our relationship. That's business. But here's the plot twist. If John Pierre, who's an unbelievable, incredible editor on Funky Friday, gets another opportunity from elsewhere, and he says, Cam, John A., respectfully, I just got an opportunity to do this over here. If you guys aren't going to match it, respectfully, I got to do what's right for my family. It's not personal, it's business. And I would understand and say, Doc, I can't match that. You know what I'm saying? Like the way our budget is set up for, I want you to get your just due. I seen your family. I seen everything that you're working towards, bro. Man, go rock out.
Can I add something to that, though?
Please.
This is what I believe about America, though. It's easy for us to see it from that perspective because in recent times, we've never had true power. It is business to white people as long as we are always the consumer, as long as we are still the talent. If you all have ever noticed in any of these super big deals, once a black person establishes that kind of power, then it's no longer just business. Oh no, we don't want you to do that. I'll give you a great example. Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson was best friends.
I heard that. But you know what? I swear on everything I love, I just seen that. Keep going.
Well, you feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
It is.
But tell the story about Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson.
Well, Michael, they would talk, Paul McCartney, if I'm correct, and I'm paraphrasing, was teaching Mike, about publishing and business.
The business.
And Mike was like, well, damn, since it's just business, I want to buy the Beatles publishing.
But the Beatles publishing was also attached to so many different other black.
Right.
Okay.
And watch this. As soon as Michael Jackson bought that publishing, it ain't just business no more. It ain't just a friendship now.
Yeah.
One thing that I've never said this in any other place, bro, and I give this to you because of where we are trying to allow our relationship to grow, bro, is that most white people won't admit it, but they still look at us as if we are something to be owned. Like, we are supposed to be happy with the scraps. We're supposed to be happy just to be in the game. We're supposed to be happy. I remember one time, and I'm not gonna speak about the company because I'm still a working man who needs certain opportunities, but I remember turning down an opportunity that most black men would have said yes to without even reading the contract. I just have always wanted to, I think that's been my lesson with God, is every time I've ever tried to take the corporate route, every time I've tried to take the easy route, besides the very first time I got my deal and I needed that foundation, is not went right for me. Like, we're gonna have to get used to owning ourselves, not just for us, but think about it, man. My cousin was in the group that one of the greatest horn samples of all times, hip hop, the most sampled horn sample of all time. I can't even sample my family's music, bro, because we don't own anything, bro. So what I'm saying is yes, it is business until we become bigger than business, until we start trying to buy networks. And I was gonna say this person's name, but it's not even worth going into that. It was all cool. You can do any movie you wanna do. Ryan Coogler is a great example of that. They were criticizing this man because he negotiated a deal that has really never been heard of, black or white. It's cool as long as you feeding us movies and you sinners, but you want to own the movie again? Oh, that's a problem. So what I'll say, and this is not anything that I'm trying to debate with. It's just something that I want to lay on you because you're gonna make it to that level. I see it in you. When you start getting power and you've already started it, dude, you shooting in your shit, bro. As soon as you start owning and not wanting to sell everything, the business is gonna change and it's gonna stop being about business and about how much power you're able to accrue. The fact that you have your son up here, bro, giving him opportunity. People were talking about nepotism when it comes to some sports player. Them white boys, daddy get him some every fucking day of their damn life. Let me get a child. I'm gonna give my son everything that he want. It's not gonna be easy for him. He's gonna have to learn, he's gonna have to earn it, but you are supposed, again, racism. Marcus Garvey said, I have no problem with white people's racism, I have a problem of black people's lack of racism. You're supposed to do that for your son. Ice Cube was the most honest.
No, for sure.
They asked him, was it nepotism when it comes to his son? Ice Cube said, hell fucking yeah. It better be.
But it's important. You're drinking coffee.
Yeah.
China, did you go get coffee this morning?
For myself?
Just in general.
I got that coffee right there.
My point. It's small things. Because either going into the NFL, I never had the conventional corporate kind of, relationship where I had to start in the bottom.
Don't say that shit, it was hard though.
Yeah, I understand that. So for him, he's not making it to the league. So if he can remember days where now his younger brother or a person, when he starts to have children and say, man, I did the same things, dog. It's no skipping the steps. I believe in nepotism. We all believe in nepotism. But understand that I ain't giving you nothing. I had to strip his car from him. He think, oh man, I'm being, it's like, no, son, I just want you to earn something. He got his own car now. You feel me?
You mind if I tell him something?
Go ahead.
They say in the Bible, if you spare the rod, you quicken the child to the grave. If something happens to your father, or let's say America goes to war and you don't know how to do nothing, what if something happens to him? Anything can happen in America. We see this stuff change every day. When you don't have the skill, when you haven't gone through the process for yourself, you don't know how to get it. If you go through the coffee, if you go through making the runs, if you go through running the cameras, In music, there's not one thing in music that I can't do. I even went and rapped my own CDs. When we were making CDs, I went in the sweatshop and burned my own shit. Ain't nothing. It may not be the same quality, but from the beginning to the end, I can do anything that comes to music. Nobody can, I will never, you are a slave to what you don't know. So at whatever place your dad skips a step, that's actually hurting you. You need to be able to do it all or someone will take it from you, literally take it from you. So that's the biggest blessing in the world, bro, for somebody to be able to see that you need to earn it. The other thing is that I used to wonder why my dad was so mean to me, bro. My dad was the worst as far as being hard on me. But now that I'm older, my father was the biggest blessing to me in the world because the world is not playing with you. The world is not going to help you. The world is trying to hurt you, if anything, especially when they know what you come from. People are jealous of what you come from, bro. You got to go through every step, bro. The other thing is that something that I want to talk to young black men about in probably about 8 more years, I'm not quite to that point yet, is the importance of your genetics. Bro, when you look at your father, you may not show those traits now, but you have it in you. And you'll be able to pass that along. And you need to think about that when you decide what woman you want to be with. You have to know that if something happens to you, that what your father passed down to you will be protected. And bro, that means a whole lot. And we don't talk to each other. That's the reason why I bring up some of the topics that I bring up the way that I do. Because if we don't have those conversations with our children,
For sure.
somebody else will.
Sure. And I'm with you. I think, you know, for him alike with others, it's like, bro, fall in love with the process. Yeah. Like when you in that process, dog, I'm such a fan of so many different creatives, and I can go around the room, I'm not, but it's like, dog, they crush it. And everybody has their own story. I have my own story. I'm actually witnessing some of the pitfalls and the struggles because my lack thereof of knowing like, yo, bro, you gotta go to these places. It's not selling out, it's making sure that people know that you're available for business. You know what I'm saying? And I want to go back to, you know, just one of the main things that, you know, Ryan Coogler mentioned, just being from the South, right? He had a quote that said that black people from the West Coast, the East Coast, Midwest need to visit the South, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, to really know where they came from. Do you think blacks who migrated from the South really don't understand the impact of slavery, Jim Crow, or even segregation? Like, we have those discussions and topics, you know, during Black History Month with a lot of people, you know, here recently has been like, man, let's do away with it, or we need more awareness of, you know, the black experiences and what we've came from. But just understanding is like, yo, we are dope as a race. And the biggest hypocrisy that we live in is that we treat other cultures superior than we only treat our own. Not because, hey, say it louder, I'm black. Yeah, that's saying it. But when you have people that's going back and forth, and we just seen this here in hip hop, not to get specific, but if you know, you know. I see a situation where somebody was almost hogtied or kidnapped and was forced to sign a deal. And has that ever happened to a Sony executive? Has that ever happened to anybody that we've seen from a lot of these music executives? But when it's a black man that has a black artist, we see these things and it's like, well, how do we get here?
So this is what I'll say, is that as it pertains to the history, don't no other race of people want to erase their atrocities? Because if you erase the atrocity, then people will be able to do the same thing again. That's why history is so important. The problem with black history is not the slavery aspect of it, but it's the fact that we're so much more. Anthony Browder is the reason why I'm conscious. He wrote a book called From the Browder Files. He has this map, no lie, bro. It reaches from this wall to that wall. And it's the history of Africans, right? White people, their whole history is only this No, about this much of the map. I'm talking about since they've been on the earth, period. So if you go from, let's say, for argument's sake, from that wall to right here is white people, but we have existed for this amount of time. So what about the pyramids? Why we never hear about that? Why we never hear about Mansa Musa? What about our history before we ever came in contact with them? It's not the slavery aspect, because that's an important aspect, so it'll never happen again. But why don't we ever, that's my only criticism. Mm-hmm. Well, not my only criticism, but my major criticism of HBCUs is that if we are going, and I am probably the biggest proponent for HBCUs, but I believe a HBCU, part of their responsibility is to teach you how to be African, how to be Moorish, all the things that we don't know. That's where we're supposed to go and get it. Because like you said, the question that you asked, the initial question that you asked, a lot of parents, and y'all in here, be honest with who's not from the South, our parents sent us to HBCUs to teach us how to be black. Because they moved us into these places thinking
to get
that the financial part was going to save us, but the history, like sending kids to a white college without purpose. When you send Asian kids to these different colleges, they know they got to come back and do something for the community. They know their responsibilities of what they have to do. We really just want to get the bag. So that if we have these HBCUs and we have this illustrious history, we just have to teach our children about it. The other thing is community building. One of the things that I see that happen to black people, and this actually almost brings tears to my eyes. I look at black people like I look at the iPhone. Do y'all remember, maybe I'm showing my age. I remember when a video used to come on MTV or BET. The hood, I'm talking about everybody was in the house. Mm-hmm. New video, come on, shit. Even though we from the South, and we got a Mobb Deep CD. It wasn't but one of them in the South store. One of us got it and everybody was in the crib. It was a community. We are a communal people. We are a tribal people. Now everybody is I. If you ask most black people, do they want to be a millionaire? I do this all the time. Everybody will raise their hand, right? I want to be a millionaire. I want to be one thing, I'm so sick of this shit. Black people, keyword is I want to be a billionaire. For fucking what? In order for you to be a billionaire, 9 times out of 10, you got to be parasitic in some kind of way. You just do. To be able to accrue that kind of money that fast, not saying that I can't do it, but what I am saying is that when you ask a person, why do you want to be a millionaire? Why do you want to be a billionaire? In most cases, people in our culture will say, I want to take care of I want to take care of my hood, my family, my kids. It's never like, I want to be a billionaire so I can buy us some land. I can buy us some water. I told you, man, if I'm able to get my studio, who did I say I want to see a superhero be? Who did I say? You! I said, bro, I would love to make you be like a black Superman. I want this for everybody else. I want him, if he wants to do something and you want him to have that experience, you can send him over there to Uncle Vale. Oh, they don't know Vale. Excuse me. Send him over to Uncle David Banner.
Yeah.
That's the real power. Because a lot of times when it's you two, he's still looking at dad.
Yeah.
If you send him over to Uncle Vale and I put him through the system, then that's a different experience. And now he heard what you said, but he's living it through his uncle and he's protected, right?
Yes. The thing that's so astonishing now is the amount of people, no matter where you're from, it still makes me feel a certain type of way. And I have it here in my notes, just not a lot of people have even seen a cotton field. And if you see a cotton field, it's on acres. And to think about, like, folks was picking cotton, and we know how hot it can get in the Texases, Mississippis, Louisianas, the Alabamas, the Tennessees, the Georgias. It's like, bro, y'all was out there all day on those acres. That's just something that's extremely wild. I'm gonna change
But real quick, since you said that, I want to add something to it. I went to the Delta once, and they told me something, man, and it punched me in the stomach because I never thought about it. You know, in the Delta, the land is flat. So, like, let's say if you were an escaped slave and you got away. On that flat land, you can see for almost 30 to 40 miles. So you see that black skin and you see somebody running, that's why a lot of times they waited until the nighttime. And it wasn't no lights how, I used to do this all the time because I always stay out in the country in most cases. I cut the lights off just to see. That shit scary as fuck, dog. That shit scary as fuck.
Boy, for real.
Them real country towns where we be from, cut them lights off if you want to. Matter of fact, it's a clip on Instagram where this girl was riding a bike and she threw a finger sign at dude, and it was at night, and he cut off his headlights, and she ended up being in the motherfucking ditch because it turned pitch black dark. Yeah. But I'll tell you this, man, and then we'll raise the vibrations again, bro. I am grateful that God allowed me to have a Southern experience, that God allowed me to have a Mississippi experience. From even the way that I eat, they say that my state is the most unhealthy state. They say my city is definitely the most unhealthy city, but I am one of the most healthy guys in the game, right? I'm fasting all the time, right? And people know, because I'll get up here, the same conversation that we was talking about we need to have with these kids. I'm the type of person, I hadn't ate pork in 35 years. But I will tell a kid, and it's the truth. I love the way pork tastes. Them motherfuckers say that shit, now you a motherfucking lie. That shit tastes, mwah. I would bathe in that shit if I didn't know what it was. But, I would ask a person in the same sentence, would you eat a rat if it tasted good? And most people besides one person, I ain't gonna say who it is, because you know them very well. They say no. I say, well, a pig's diet is worse than a rat's. And so my understanding of what I put in my mouth, and if I truly believe I'm an extension of God and I am not a slave, then I can be choicey about the things that I feed on. And my Mississippi experience is the reason why I have the heart that I have. Me being from Mississippi is the reason why I ain't tore a lot of these Negroes' head off. It's because I remember how I was treated in Mississippi. I remember how artists used to act. That's why when I go to these towns, these people fall in love with me. That's the reason why I love black people so fucking much, even at our worst. At black people's worst, you can usually trace it to a time in history where we acquired that. People didn't come off them boats acting like that. So for me, I'll say, man, I am so proud and grateful to God for allowing me to be from the South. Mm-hmm. Bro, what you had to fight through and for in order for you to be here, man, can't nobody say, what? I told motherfucker this, you can't break my heart. My heart been broke. I just choose to be a kind person. I choose to give people what I pray to God. People pray to God every day, but you don't forgive nobody. You pray to God every day knowing that you're gonna get up and do the same thing and you can't give another black person grace. That's why I hate these Negroes who get money and then turn their nose up at their people. Like you said, a lot of these people wear the clothes and jewelry that they wear to show off in front of poor people. You will hardly ever see me flossing in front of other poor people. One, because I know I used to be the person watching what you had on. But for the rest of these suckers, they're gonna catch it. I'm gonna give it to them, I'm gonna shine. I told a young lady outside before I came in here, and she was like, why are you so happy? And I said, you know, I told her, I said, because sweetheart, when I see other women smile at me, they don't know that the reason why they're so attracted to me is I am probably the closest thing that most people will ever get to God.
The glasses.
Oh, I'm sorry. Keep.
Yeah.
Get him, Cal!
Get him, David! Hey, to that point though, we had a matchmaker on, Kendra G, on the show a couple weeks back, and she said that she could never date a white man. Mm-hmm. That went, that did numbers for us. With how strongly you uplift black people and black women specifically, do you feel the same way she does about dating outside your race?
What I will say, and this will surprise a lot of people, is that I believe your true prayer is what you think about the most. You know, if you think fear all the time and you talk fear all the time, fear is what's gonna come. I think black women are the makers of gods. I think the reason why we are what we are is because of what we are. So I want to be as close as I can be to God in every way that I possibly can, whether spiritually, physically, mentally, sexually, whatever it may end up being. I want to be the closest thing, and I think the black woman is the closest that you can get to God, period. Have I failed sometimes? The same way you sinned. I have. But my intent is always to be the closest that I possibly can be to God.
When we first had our initial conversation on a different platform, I thought you were married.
No. See, I think what happens, bro, is I practice, and similar to Kobe, I approach marriage and what you do while you married, like Kobe did basketball. I play in practice the same way that I do in a real game. So most people think I'm married because of how well I execute my practice sessions up until I do get married.
So you've never been married?
No. I've always worked, bro. And seriously, and I gotta be honest with you, bro. It actually hurt my feelings. I'm becoming, the stronger that I become as a man, the more I understand that it's okay to tell people that your feelings got hurt. Like with my homies now, they be tripping on me. I'm like, dog, you hurt my feelings. So when I come to get my manhood back from you, understand what it is. I'm not gonna act like it's something else. You hurt my feelings. You let me down. I believed in you. I showed you my childhood nature and you took advantage of me. I'm gonna hurt you. But I need you to be clear that my feelings are hurt. When I said to America the reason why it took me so long to get married, I literally said, if I would have gotten married and had children, then whoever my wife and my child would, they would have been at home with a whole bunch of stuff, but they wouldn't have had a father. I knew that in order for me to make it, especially from Mississippi, I had to be selfish. I had to give myself everything but my spirituality and my manhood. I had to give it to the game. And because of that decision, I'm a more mature man. I am definitely more focused. And whatever my child or wife wants, my wife will never have to work if she doesn't want to. That's just what I believe in. But it's because of all of those hours that I sacrificed, all those relationships that I sacrificed before. I've always worked, bro.
The relationships that you were in before, and just to be honest, or just to be forthright, never married any children?
No, not even a mistake.
So with those relationships that you had before, has a woman ever hurt you?
Oh, fuck yeah.
But did you verbalize that to her?
One way or another. Wasn't always the best way. I'm a great communicator. That's the only thing I'm afraid of is that I mislead people. A lot of times I keep my mouth shut because I know that I had the ability. I think that's the main thing that we're going to be judged off of. That was the reason why I told you, bro, don't get into it with these other folks. They really want to be you. They really want to have, they may have a certain amount of fame, but they don't have the physical prowess or they don't have the resume to talk about the things that you're not talking about it in a lot of cases, especially when it comes to football, from a studied perspective. You're coming from a lived perspective.
Experience.
You're coming from wisdom, right? So for me, man, I just really knew, coming from Mississippi and not always having people that believed in me, man, I had to give it my all. And I gotta say this, bro, and I'm serious, I mean this with all my heart, bro. For the first time in my life, bro, I'm really proud of myself. I've never been proud of myself, dude. I always thought I wasn't good enough, you know? And, bro, I've done some things that nobody on this earth has ever done. And no matter, that's what I was about to tell you, but me and you, we do this sometimes.
A lot. You know what I'm saying?
Is that I'm really interested to see how New York handles my new album, how they handle this level of lyricism from me. They're not gonna expect this, bro.
You said New York.
Yeah, New York especially, because a lot of times people say what they want from the South, and then when Southerners give it, they never saying, they act like we're a roach in the room. Like Akeem Ali from Mississippi, I haven't heard nobody rap like that young man. Boy, that boy is rapping.
He put it together.
Big Crit.
He put it together.
He's a fucking genius,
He put it together.
bro. You know, somebody like Killer Callion from Texas, bro. Ab Soul, bro, like, it's casual. Well, hieroglyphics in general. But like, bro, like, I got a song, the first song on my album is a song called God. And what I'm talking about is spiritual, but I'm also talking about New Yorkers. I'm thinking about you, God, but do you ever think about me? Like, I respect you all. You know, I studied you all. You all were my heroes. But then when it was my turn, I didn't feel like I got that same type of energy. And I may have not been talented enough at the time. I can give you that. But I wonder what's gonna happen this time.
Yeah.
If it's really about culture, if it's really about lyrics, beats, and rhymes, I've always believed in that. The crazy thing about me, bro, I just always wanted to be dope. But what's funny is most of the time I was drunk, dude. Because literally, people don't think about this. I went from being homeless in my van, bro, literally, to people screaming out I had $10 million. From me having to negotiate against lawyers and big-ass record companies, we have to do that shit alone and still navigate ourselves and be great on the field, be great on the mic, bro. I prayed one time and just thank God that I'm not totally crazy. I'm a little off. But man, the fact that we still here, and at least half our mind, I can look you in your eye and tell you at least some of Cam is still there. You can look me in my eyes. You know how motherfuckers look at you and they got the glossy ass eye? It ain't even high yet.
Yep.
That's your spirit. Half your spirit is gone. I want to say this, and then I'll answer your questions directly and quickly after this. Cam, I'm serious about this, bro. Figure out what you want from this level in your life, bro, and stick to that. Because if you think about it, when we go on podcasts, whenever you even go on ESPN proper, I'm talking about proper ESPN, when we go to all of these places, think about it. I'm an artist, right? Rapper first. What am I supposed to be selling? My music, right? Do they ever play our music? Never. Do they ever ask you about the album? If they do, it's really quick at the end. Okay, your album, 2 seconds. Okay, we're out of here. Thank you, David Banner, for being here. They don't care about your talent. They want your soul. Who you having sex with? Where you at all times? It's so crazy about black people now. Your music and what you love the most, sports ain't even good enough. How well you throw that football ain't even good enough. I want to know who your wife is. I want to know where your children are. I want you to be on Instagram 100 hours a day. Bro, nothing is worth your spirit. Nothing. You've already done it. From where we from, even if they don't accept you the way that you are, keep your spirit intact, bro. I am so, so very proud of, and I'm watching you. You don't always do it right, but you're working it out in front of the whole fucking world. That ain't easy, dog. That's the reason why I don't mind making mistakes. Ain't none of us perfect. I'm just learning that. That was probably the reason why I was always depressed. You can't be perfect, but what you can be is consistent. If you can continue building people's life, if you can continue putting out the best information you can, be as informed as you possibly can every time you step in front of this mic, bro, and you already killing them on the fashion side, ain't none of the motherfuckers gonna touch you. Bro, you already won.
Yeah. All right, so are you dating?
Am I dating? I ain't gonna let them take my soul. Ain't none of their business if I'm dating.
Answer this.
Okay.
With this phase of your life, what are you expecting from a potential significant other?
All right. I'll be getting myself in trouble. I've learned, if you look at any you look at the Torah, you look at the Bible, you look at the Quran, you look at most stories about spiritual leaders or spiritual people in general. Most of the stories are about what you are willing to sacrifice. I don't know. I know what I want, but I don't know if God got that in the cards for me. I want to do what God really wants me to do. And I always tell people this, man, when people talk about me being a rapper and cussing and all the shit that I say sometimes, I say, but you will take David in the Bible, though, who sent a man to war just so he could lay with his wife. But God said that was his man. What if my cussing, what if the stuff I talk about, us being the way that we are? Because me and you both are a lot to fucking deal with. I know that. But there's a certain nights, bro, I come home and be like, fuck, why I said that? But I'm gonna stand on it. But fuck, I have to say that. But like, honestly, bro, I'm a lot to deal with. And I know that when I deal with women. I'm worth it? Shit, look at me.
Glasses.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, thank you, brother. I'm worth it though. Yeah. But Cam, I really don't know, man. And the sad part about it, and I haven't said this on any other show, I've been alone, not necessarily physically, but spiritually and mentally so long, bro. I went from being afraid of being alone to now somebody taking my peace. Bro, I ain't never been happy with being at home and not having nothing to do. I love that shit now. I come home, I started back playing PlayStation again. I'm serious. I started back doing beats, and my staff hate this. I do a dope-ass beat and cut that bitch off. I'm back to doing it for the reason that you said we should do it, for the love. Yeah. And I know I can do it again. Maybe not like that, but I can do it again. So like with a woman, man, women say that they want, I asked a woman one time, what's her love languages? What's her love languages? And she said, success and time. And I said, baby, you should study love languages because some things don't go together. You find me a black man in America who ain't busting his ass. And ain't too many second generation black folks in America that can give you that type of lifestyle that you want. I can't give you that lifestyle and time too. Because the reason why we had that lifestyle is because of what I do with my time.
It's gonna come one without the other.
Boy! And most people don't want to have that conversation.
And they don't understand. Like, you can have time, but you're not gonna have the money.
Yep.
You can have the money, and I've heard it wrapped in many different ways. And the most recent way has been, you're not emotionally available. And sometimes with having days on days when you start to realize, like, bro, I'm coming home to recharge. This is my place of refuge. In my car, my place of refuge. In my office, my place of refuge. I'm not trying to think. I care about you deeply, sweetheart, but it's like, even though I ask you, how's your day? I'm just a shell of myself because I'm still trying to come down from my day. And the ones who get it.
And they married.
The ones who don't are always at war with, like, why he or why she, because it's not just a woman thing, it's a man thing too. It's just about understanding. I asked this question oftentimes, and here recently it's been on, a reoccurring question. I ask people, do you want love or you just want attention? Because to understand love, that there's gonna be like, boom. You said it, you was like, I love you, I just don't like you.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that.
You feel what I'm saying? And that hit home because, I seen my parents been together approaching 41, 42 years. And to see that level of commitment to one person and to the other person, I knew that they didn't like each other. But my mama gonna call, you had something to eat? Okay, I'm coming home right now. They check in on each other. Those are the things that are the small principles. And that's one example to, like, I see the dating cycle nowadays, and I talk to people for a living, whether on camera or off camera. And I enjoy those dialogues of just realizing, like, yo, like, dog, like, you're gonna have to put up with her stuff. She was fly before you met her. are you gonna be able to keep up that fly? Hey, the dude that you like, sweetheart, he was toxic before you met. Like,
When I always have a joke, when you met him in college, you met him at a frat party and he had 2 women on his shoulder when you met him.
Come on now.
Just be honest.
Come on
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Come on.
I do want to say this though, to women.
be careful.
No, it's fine. I'm cool with mine. I look good enough to make mistakes. One of my biggest problems with women that I've dated is a lot of time the problem is that they don't love themselves enough to know that all I really want is to be with you. I don't want to do nothing. My life is a doer. I don't want to be around people. I want to fucking be still. I had a young lady, I had to literally put her out my house because she wouldn't be still. You want me to cook? You want me to clean? Yeah, I do want those things, but right now, I just came home because I can't talk to you about the death threats. I can't talk to you that I've only paid myself 17 times since I started running this company. And yeah, I make millions and millions of dollars, but I spend millions and millions of dollars in order to keep all these people paid and all the lights on. Do I make money from other places? Yeah. But the fact that I'm doing all this for all these people and I can't get a smile from them, and they may bring home more disposable money from this particular venture than I do. So when I come home, baby, I really just want to be. And if you are safe, if you are fed and happy, just come and lay right here. It's all I need. Because I'm on all the time. You're the same way, bro. We are on all the time. We got to turn that God off when we come home. But what I have learned, just to let y'all know that I've grown, is that if you do find a woman that's that way, then you gotta have to also know that she has wants and needs too, and sometimes you're gonna have to turn it on just for her. So if you wanna go out, all right, we'll go out tonight. I really wanna go out, I really don't wanna see no fucking body. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think, bro, the type of spirits that we are, bro, when I speak in front of crowds and they say Martin Luther King was this way, when I get finished speaking, I open up my spirit to my people and I give it. I be barely able, ask Regina, when I come home, I'm barely able to walk. Dude, I be going to islands sometimes and I stay in the room and sleep for 7 fucking days. It was just my birthday on the 11th, Cam. I got sick as soon as I got to the fucking island. Because God in my body was like, okay, you safe now? Or we've been holding this, take that. You're sick now, because you wouldn't sit your ass down. So to be able to have a woman that knows that she's worthy and that me just being in her presence is enough, that's what really makes me happy. That's when I know I love a woman. If I can be in the same room and she doesn't know that I'm there and I'm happy, just to know that she all right, just to know that she doing her motherfucking thing and I'm watching her. Ooh, you little sexy motherfucker. Oh, yeah, that's enough.
You just want to be.
Yeah.
Well, there's a quote that says, and I hope I don't botch it up. Men want to be alone, but men don't want to be by themselves.
Yeah. That's a bar. That is a bar. That is you gonna get in trouble now.
No. But the ones who understand that quote is the ones that really understand a busy man.
Yeah.
As we end things here, but before we get out of here, I want to ask, you've evolved a lot, right? What's the next version of David Banner that we can prepare people to see?
Me letting go, being a slave. I heard a very wise man say that even the best of us, we work like slaves. Being okay, not always being in front of the camera. Being okay with allowing my movies to speak for me rather than me putting myself on the line. You know,
Is there an opportunity in movies as an actor that you're not willing to play?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them. We just went through that.
Okay. Do you care to share what you're not willing to do?
Some of it. I don't like dealing with spiritual things that I don't understand. Like, my preference is in horror movies. Because sometimes we dip into spirits and into places that we don't have any idea of. Like, I had an ex-girlfriend that used to speak in tongues. And I used to always tell her, take that shit somewhere else. You don't know what you're saying. Like, no, talk to me. And if God talking to you, then take that shit somewhere else. But I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying to me. I'm dead serious. I'm not playing. I don't pray with everybody. I don't know who you praying to. You say God. I don't know what your God is because it seems like money's your God. I don't trust you in your God. I don't. So with me, bro, like, the next level of my life, man, is being okay with being the door opener for other people. Like what you said about your son. You know, a wise man told me one time, God may have blessed you to be the Moses, not the Jesus. So you may be the reason why Jesus can walk on water. You know what I'm saying? But Moses didn't make it. You feel me?
That's heavy, bro.
You know, and I'm at peace with that. Yeah. In closing, I want to say something to you, man. I am.
No, we not. No, we didn't.
Huh?
No. I got. Let's say 2 more.
Okay. All right. I'm very, very proud of you, man. I see the bag that they're trying to put you in. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you fall in it, but you okay with it. That's what I like about you. You really like to smoke, bro. I see it. Yeah, come on, don't do that to me. Just don't say nothing, but don't do me that. You know y'all, I know y'all work for him. Don't he like it? No. Everybody said yes. In unison.
But I'm a chimney. What you expect? I'm a muffler. I need to smoke.
Oh, shit.
But the thing about it is, I like real.
Yeah.
And if you see something about me that can start a discussion, I'm all for it. And you highlighted it, but I'll say it. If it doesn't question my spirituality or my sexuality, then it's cool. It's easy for people nowadays to say, oh man, he blank. Oh man, he this. Oh man, he that. If it's not true, it doesn't bother me. But it depends on who's the source or who's saying it. You said something on Shannon Sharp podcast, who a person, bro, I love, Uncle Shannon, about doing business with a man, or your mentor kind of mentioned doing business
bro,
with...
hold on, stop. That's what I mean that I like about you, bro. Bro, online, that clip went so viral. The tagline said, David Banner said, but in the clip, I said, my mentor said, and I never thought about it. Bro, Nick Rose is mad at me. I was like, well, bro, I agree with what he's saying, but I didn't say that. Correct. You just said it. Your mentor said. Right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
It's clear as day. You said that your mentor said that you do not, or he does not do business with people who cheat on their wife, right? Why is that something that was alarming to you? Because for me, I have my own way of thinking. I'm just curious.
Well, there's a few things. My mentor also brought perspective, because he is my mentor. He said, I see all the motherfuckers getting mad. Well, he don't curse. He said, I see all the people getting mad, but it's true. He said, but what they don't understand, it is not about the sexual act. Bro, I can have sex with 50,000 women in a hotel by myself, in Bali, in Mexico, anywhere I want to. People won't see it. People get caught a lot of times because they either sloppy or they want to be caught. He said it's the fact that you are letting the world see you disrespect your wife. Okay. I shouldn't know who you fucking. I shouldn't. It's not my place. So if you are going to do that to your wife, the person you lay down with every day, he said it's not about the sexual act. You are holding, like you said, it's a dual thing. She is holding your honor, but you are also holding hers. So what does that say to other women? I remember this one time, I want to give you out a quick example. A long time ago, I met this girl, and it ain't never popped off like this the first date. Like, I was really, really, really feeling her, and I've been through a lot in my life. What, my lips crusty? Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I done been through a lot in my life, so it takes a lot for a woman to really get my attention that early. It was popping off, and so like later on that night, you know, it looked like it was about to get steamy. And she said, "Stop!" And I said, "What? What?" I said, "Did you hurt your hand by touching my pectoral muscles and shit?" You know, because I'm rocked up down here, ladies. Don't worry about it. But she's like, "I just got to be real with you. I got a boyfriend."
What?
And I said, "You got to go. Right now, you got to go.
What?
You got to go right now." And what I told her before she left, I said, number one, you're putting me in danger. I'm in another city in a terrain that I don't know. And that's just something people can say whatever they want, that's something that I don't believe in, bro. I am too handsome, got too much going on for myself for me to put myself in low-level spirits like that. Bro, I'm talking about from queens to ratchet bros, I could take my pick. And it's enough of them that don't have a man. I just got it like that. But hold on, let me finish though. Yeah. And so I told her, I said, do you think that you see yourself being with me at any other level? And she was like, hell yeah. I said, how could I trust you when your man can't trust you right now? And you supposed to love him more than me. I can't trust you. I cannot trust you. You may come back later after you don't have a boyfriend and I tune you up. That's another thing, but you know.
But in that situation that you just in that situation that you just explained, she told you something. Would you, without telling you, would you have scored the touchdown?
If she wouldn't have told me she had a boyfriend? Yes. Well, this is how I'll answer that question. I can't be held responsible for something I didn't know.
Okay.
A lot of times when it comes to the first night anyway, I believe in the COINTELPRO, I believe in the government playing with our lives, I just do. So a lot of times things that I would do sexually, I wait anyway. If you're a federal agent, then you're gonna have to work for me. I don't make it easy. Like Regina will tell you, do I eat when I go speak? Do I eat their food? I don't eat their food. All I do is capped water, and if it's already been twisted, I'm not drinking it. Like, I just don't, I told my cousins that, I said, if the government or any evil organization, it don't have to be a white organization, it could be a black organization, all they gotta do is send a bad broad up under us. Y'all ain't gonna never say no. So a lot of times I'll say no just in practice, because you might be fed. And that has happened to all of our great leaders, bro. What makes me think that it won't happen to me? So in most cases, I may play around a little bit, but it's gonna take you a little bit more time to get close to me. And the thing is if I continue to stay hot, I'm coming back through the city anyway. I mean,
get yourself together so when I come back, you know, we'll have a
fuck with you. Bro, we be having conversations on so many levels, dog.
Yeah, we here. My last question is, tell us about your diet. I think it's extremely important, you know, that a person who we've seen on the front line for so long, from, like you mentioned, as an artist, as a producer, as an actor, as an activist, as so many different versions of who we are able to digest. David Banner.
Okay.
What do you say you fast? What's that?
So the most powerful thing about your question is one of the first things that I want to say is the diet goes so much further than your food. That's the reason why, and I'm glad you said this is a great way for us to bring everything together. Malcolm X said that if you could control what you put in here and in and out of here, you can control the universe. If you can say no to food, no to sex, you can do anything. That is usually how we manipulate it. Motherfucker, take your food. Like me and my homeboy from college, Edward Muhammad, we used to fast for 16, 17 days. We say if we ever went to war, the most I've ever fasted is 22 days on just like water, and 26 days on 2 salads and water.
A day.
No. Doing the whole,
Oh,
those
that's
days.
all you
Yeah,
ate.
yeah,
In 26 days is
yeah.
2 salads and water. Okay.
But imagine this. If somebody kidnapped me, I'm straight for at least 16 days. That's a man, bro. If you're able to say no to food, that's how we live.
Yeah.
And sex, bro, come on. And, I wouldn't say this on a lot of shows, man, but the most mentally and spiritually liberated I fasted from sex while I was the David Banner that y'all know for 7 months. No hub, no rub, no lotion, no nothing. I'm talking about, And it was the strongest I've ever been in my life. It was the quickest I had ever been mentally. Now, the girl who caught it after that, boy, I can't go back. That girl said, what the fuck wrong with this maniac, this silverback gorilla? But for real, dog, I'll tell you after the camera's cut off. But my diet, though, bro, Erykah Badu is someone who helps me a lot. It's funny because Ab Soul calls me his shaman. But I just thought about this right now. Like, Erykah Badu is like my shaman. Anytime that I'm dealing with something physically, spiritually, or mentally, like I'll give y'all a quick example. I was just off spiritually. And Erykah Badu told me, as soon as I told her, she said, you need to go back to Mississippi. She said, you need to go back to your grandmother's land, take off your shoes, and ground yourself in your land in the spirit of your ancestors. No bullshit. I went and jumped in the truck. I drove my ass to Mississippi, bro. And I put my feet in the fucking land. And I got really, really quiet and just soaked up the spirit of my people. But Erykah told me something that was really powerful, and it shows you how dope she is and how she's always studying. She was one of the people who really, Miss Spann was the first person who taught me about veganism. But Erykah was the one that really pushed me into taking, being a vegetarian and a vegan as a lifestyle. So to be honest with people, if people ask me what's my preference, it would be to be vegetarian or vegan. But she came back about 2 years ago, out of nowhere, called me and she's like, hey, bro, do you know your blood type? And I was like, nah. She said, you need to go figure out your blood type. Then let's experiment with that. It's a book that teaches you about how to eat for your blood type. Come to find out that I'm O positive. I am the hunter-gatherer. I'm the meat eater.
Carnivore.
You know what I'm saying, bro? And no lie, I only eat very lean meat, but and I can afford it. I get fillets, probably 2-3 times a day, only because I can afford it and because I don't have no children yet. But really lean meat and vegetables for the most part. And when I'm training, I put a few carbs in there just so my body won't be searching for it. But bro, to be honest with you, I fast. I'm always on some kind of fast.
Those that's what I'm getting at. Is it intermittent fasting, or are you talking about days?
Well, what's crazy about it is I intermittent fast anyway. I usually don't eat. I eat in between 11 and 1 every day. That's just my diet now. And again, how they lie to us. I don't know if did y'all know that breakfast was a scheme, a marketing scheme?
Yeah.
That shit fucked me up. All the shit they tell you about breakfast is a fucking lie. And then they say break fast. You're breaking a fast, the time that you're supposed to be without food. It's the craziest shit, dog. But I don't eat until usually after 11. And
when do you stop eating?
right before 8.
Okay.
So in order for you to sleep, next time I come in here, I'm gonna talk to you about sleep deprivation. I almost went crazy, bro. I was only sleeping 2 hours a night, and it started messing with my mind. We'll talk about that later. But in order for you to sleep right, I would suggest that people stop eating around, and go check with your doctors. I am not your doctor. I'm just telling you what works for me. Stop eating around 7, but you also need to stop consuming liquids, because then you're gonna wake up and be peeing all night. You know what I'm saying? So if you stop drinking water early enough for you to go ahead and piss it out, then you can get to REM sleep. It's the craziest shit. I started having nightmares again. Bro, I hadn't had nightmares in 10 years. And somebody said that's because you are finally getting the sleep that you're supposed to, and your body and your mind can now release. The other thing that happened to me that I'm really proud of, bro, I was never a big candy fan, but like decadence, chocolate, cakes and shit like that. Oh shit, a motherfucking chocolate cake. I almost got a little chubby then. I thought about the chocolate cake. Anyway, no, but like, bro, I don't desire sweets no more, bro. And my trainer told me that the addiction that America has put on us is worse than heroin.
Wow.
The addiction for sugar, like pure American sugar, is worse than fucking heroin. And I done broke that. Regina, what did I do with the cake, my birthday cake? Did I eat a slice of it? None of it. She did. She ate it. But I can honestly say, bro, I am proud of myself. I'm gonna get down to 205. And I wanna end the show with this. I don't say nigga much, but I'm gonna say it now. I realized that Cotton has never done nothing for a nigga from the South. So after I get to 205, fuck shirts. I'm gonna stop wearing them. Fuck Cotton. It's just abs. From now on, I'm done with shirts. I'm the sexiest motherfucker on this planet. That has happened. And remember, I told you first, right here on Funky Fridays. Thank you. My name is David Banner. I don't care what you think about me, just think.
As we end things here at Funky Friday, when I say all together, we're gonna say one love. When I say all together, we're gonna say one love. When I say all together, we're gonna say what?
One love.
Here we go. One hand out, one finger, one pinky, one thumb. All together, one love. Look, that
was
dope. But you ain't say nothing.
I'm just figuring it out.
That's cool. We're gonna do it again.
Okay. Right,
for David Banner. When I say all together, we're gonna say what?
One love.
Here we go. One hand out, one finger, one pinky, one thumb. All together, one love. Ladies and gentlemen, David Banner.
Proud of you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, bro. Hope you got what you need.
Yes.